Hey there. Not all notes are heard equally. That means that that listeners typically hear the top note of the chord. That means the note that you finished on, and that so in the case of striking all the notes of a chord, most listeners will hear this note as being the predominant note in that chord. Very few will hear an inside note as being a predominant note in the chord. And you probably won't either. I hear this note. That has some really profound implications with how we play and how we define chords. At first, when you start playing and you grab a guitar and you get some chord diagrams and you put your fingers down on the chord diagram and you try to skip the strings that are muted in your diagram, and you just sort of go like that kind of thing, right? And that's a basic rhythm style. But when you start to move on from there, what you want to be able to do is define other notes within the chord, and the way to do that is to stop your pick at different notes in the chord. And I'm just going to do that and demonstrate what I'm doing with this A minor chord. So as we already did, we've got this E note on top, right? But what if I were to stop at the C note on the second string? You can hear I'm pressing into that top string, using that as my as a guide, sort of, stopping the string there. But now all of a sudden that you're hearing this note, right? You're not hearing. So, and both of those chords have something of a different character, don't they? I like this one, it's sort of a little darker, and then with that top one, all of a sudden I didn't do anything with my left hand, but I've got some stuff going on here, just by repeating that second string, and I haven't changed here. So I'm emphasizing two different notes, but all I'm doing is stopping my pick at different places. Let's take that logic and move it one step further. Now I'm stopping my pick at string 3. Now I'm going to go from string 3, stopping my pick, to string 2, stopping my pick, to the top string. Doesn't that sound a lot different than playing this? Now I can take a simple rhythm style like that. You can hear these inner lines starting to jump out. There's the beginning of melodic interest here. What am I doing? What am I doing with my left hand? Oh, in the case of that G chord, I did sneak in a note that I added there, that fifth. But the rest of that was really just my right hand chopping out the strings, coming to rest. essentially creating new inversions of the chord with my right hand, not with my left hand, with my right hand. This is a great technique, and I would invite you to take each chord that you can play and experiment with one chord at a time. Let's just take a look at a D chord as another example. I can hear. Right? But how about chopping out, see, up to the string 2, up top. You'll also notice that I'm constantly emphasizing the root of the chord. This is not a D chord, and I can't tell you how many times I've heard this. This note down here has nothing to do with a D chord. This is passable, that A, but really you should be striking the chord from the root of the chord, right? And always using that root of the chord as a sort of an anchoring point. Yeah, an anchor point, harmonic anchor, right? For the rest of the stuff you're doing. Now let's just take that A minor chord and move to the D major chord. And this time I'm going to chop out, do the same little chops here and there. And let's see if we can create something a little more interesting. So what you're hearing is right. That's the beginning of stepping forward in your rhythm playing, stepping out in your rhythm playing, starting to create those interesting internal melodic lines. And all of those melodic lines are created by using your right hand to chop out string sets, but even more so, back to where we started. The listener hears the top note more strongly than any other note, and so essentially the other notes in the chord are supporting those top notes. So learn to place those top notes and create new melody lines, no matter how simple they are in your left hand playing. These could be the simplest, most basic chords, but you can make those simple basic chords just sound fantastic by just starting to define notes by chopping them with your right hand and being aware of separate melodic lines in your playing.